The battle for same-sex marriage continues.
Well, the Supreme Court issued another major ruling on gay marriage today.
It's still a hot-button issue.
I cannot legally come up with an argument against same-sex marriage.
Same-sex couples will soon be able to head to the altar in New York State.
53% support the issue of same-sex marriage.
They should be fighting for the rights rather than the word, marriage.
I've always been adamant that gay and lesbian Americans should be treated fairly and equally.
In the past, America has suffered from detrimental controversies, and civilians opposing viewpoints continue to pose problems. From deciding whether or not to declare independence in 1776 to racial segregation in the 1960s, America has had a hard time agreeing on issues.
I do believe there will always be people who are homophobic, in the same way there will always be people who are kind of racist. But as we move along in history, when prior to Lovings versus Virginia, it was acceptable to be mildly racist to couples who are biracial. Now, I hope after gay marriage is legalized, it will kind of be, like if anyone said something offensive to like an interracial couple, people would be like, that's terrible. I want that to be the same for a gay couple, that people would just realize, well, there's nothing wrong with that. There's like two people in love.
This seems true in today's society when things like gay marriage cannot be brought to equal terms. We believe that the biggest problem Congress will face in 2014 is the Gay Rights Act.
When you oppress people enough, they will rise up in anger. It happens time and time again.
What happened when those oppressed due to gender and race were pushed to their limits? They rebelled and succeeded in their cause. The fight for gay rights will work the same way that these past controversial issues did.
When people were suppressed because of their race, then people marched on Washington. When women were denied rights to vote, the suffrage movement happened because people want to be respected. You're denying people something so primal and basic in life, so they will rise up and get angry.
The first American settlers were born and raised Catholic. It is said in this religion that God created man and woman to be together as a direct representation of Him on earth. As quoted directly from the Bible, if a man lies with a male, as with the woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall be put to death, their blood is upon them. Leviticus 20, verses 13 to 23. This is stating that same-sex marriage in the Catholic religion is wrong through the eyes of God. In the United States, roughly 78% of all adults denominate themselves as Christians. Some of these Christians take the radical approach as a result of their beliefs.
They're shocking.
Same-sex marriage is going to be the demise of this nation.
You're going straight to hell on your crazy train.
For upholding the standard of God.
People such as the Westboro Baptist Church. Many members of the church have been known to picket military funerals and on the sides of roads, with signs that read things such as, God hates you and God hates fags. The church believes these deaths are punishments from God for tolerance of homosexuality and that it is destroying our nation.
Religion can be used as a backbone for hatred. There is stuff in the Bible that does speak this negative stuff about being gay. More that's said about being hateful and being vindictive.
In America, it is everyone's right to believe in what they believe and voice their own opinion. But when people's opinions and actions get in the way of another human being's pursuit of happiness, it can be destructive not only to that person, but to the nation as a whole. And this can be seen state to state. 17 states have already legalized same-sex marriage, states like California, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Hawaii, and New York. This may not be much, but is the beginning to a never-ending fight.
The Supreme Court of the United States ruled that marriage equality is indeed constitutional in the states that approve it.
While homophobes and die-hard Christians strongly oppose same-sex marriage, those in favor of it are not going down. Frederick Douglass said, "In my bondage and my freedom, what is to be thought of a nation boasting of its liberty, boasting of its humanity, boasting of its Christianity, boasting of its love of justice and purity, and yet having within its own borders 3 million of persons denied by law the right of marriage?" Right now, about 55% of Americans favor or are in support of gay marriage, while 44% are against it and 2% are unsure. In 2012, Barack Obama beat Mitt Romney for the presidency by only 4%. If a man can take office and obtain control of an entire country with only 4% of favor over his opponent, why can nothing be done for the LGBT community with 9% in their favor?
For me personally, it is important for me to go ahead and affirm that I think same-sex couples should be able to get married.
The Supreme Court this year ruled that if same-sex couples married in a state where it is legal migrate to a state where their marriage is not legal, the couple may live happily in their current position. President Obama says, if you've been married in Massachusetts and you move someplace else, you're still married, and under federal law, you should be able to obtain the benefits of any lawfully married couple. Despite the extreme controversy and stubborn mindsets of religious Christians, things are beginning to lighten up and create an even playing field for opposing sides. Recently, Pope Francis declared that God is about forgiving and loving regardless. If someone is gay and he searches for the Lord and he has goodwill, who am I to judge? He says in an interview. He believes that the only way to go is forward. The church is changing as we speak. Sooner or later, Congress will have to make a decision regarding the Gay Rights Act. Neither negators nor supporters are looking to back down in regards to this right, and Congress will have to make a decision that will grant the LGBT community their rights while keeping the anti-gays happy.